Good morning, everyone. Good evening. This is our test automation brigade meeting, and this meeting is public and will be recorded and published on YouTube. Just a reminder. And quickly going on the agenda, let's go with the status updates. Anyone wants to start first?
I can if you want.
Okay.
This is Cheryl from North Forge. Okay, so I just learned that I'm going to be tied up for the rest of the year. Hopefully, joining back in the new year. However, I kind of had started on my other test cases, and what I wanted to convey, what I had discovered, is that for the sanity test, when for checking the ONU ports, I'm not sure if this was deliberate, but there's only one port out of 4 being checked for. I was going to be changing that to start with to get more coverage, but that's might be something that I don't know if Andy wants to address in the time frame that I'll be away from working on that. But that's where I'm sitting. Yeah, so I didn't get much done over the last couple of weeks. So I guess that's my status.
Okay, thanks for the update, Gil. So yeah, I just learned from George that you will be away for some time for other project.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
my only question is, I know that you have a task which is in progress, 1823, about radius authentication. Have you started, or it's in somewhere in the middle?
Not directly on that. Like I was saying, I wanted to get the port coverage and the APOL flows, make sure, surrounding all that. Because I knew there were more than just the one port that was actually being checked for. So I was going to make changes to the functions that are currently in place for the sanity. And actually, what was strange is that they kind of allowed for a list of ports, but they actually only returned one. That's what I'm was wondering, whether that was deliberate or not. So that I needed to check for all ports, and then all flows for all ports,
Okay.
in my checking. So that was part of the getting the environment changed up for for completing that test case.
Okay, but yeah, right now we are just using only one uniport of particular ONU, so that's the reason we have just checked for only
Okay.
one.
Uh,
Yeah,
all right. So
yeah, because we are just hooking up only one subscriber to that uniport, and that's the reason we have been testing it that way. So it's
but
not.
there's are in fact 4 ports being reported back.
Yes,
Okay, but you're deliberately just looking for one specific port.
yes, exactly. Because I think that too the first port on the ONU, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we want to proceed with that checking and then continue testing. I'm not sure how it is supported in Volta. Maybe that's a question for development, and if that is supported and we can work on it, then we can proceed. Otherwise, I would think that we can hold up because that is not very important right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But thanks, Gillis. I will maybe Andy and myself will try to reach out to you on a separate thread on Slack if there are any questions about your tests, and we'll communicate in that way.
Okay. Should I just say that it's no longer in progress and maybe not assign my name to it, or will it
Uh,
still be me?
yeah, right now I think let's leave it. Probably I'll get back to you on Slack on that. What should we do?
Oh, okay. All
Yes,
right.
we'll be back from January, or do you know? Do you don't know yet?
I don't know yet, but I suppose I would like to. Um, then we'll see.
Okay, sure, I understand. All right, thanks,
Yeah.
Gillis.
Okay.
Thank you for the update. Anyone else from Infosys who wants to start first?
Yeah, hi Sujitra.
Hello.
Yeah, so 2264 got merged this week, and we are working on 1958,
Okay.
yeah, and 2182. So we are working on these JIRAs currently, and 2182 we checked manually and it is working fine, and we started writing the keywords for that. And 1958 it is restarting all the parts and checking the functionality. So currently, except the three parts, RW core and Volta etcd part and Kafka. So except these three parts, we are restarting the other parts and we are testing the sanity functionality. So it's working fine. Individually, the test case is getting passed. So we want to execute the complete suite once. So once it is done, we'll be submitting the patch set maybe tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah,
And then these two, I believe they are in to do, right? So this will be for next.
correct. Yeah, so once we submit these two, we'll pick up that. And 1959, actually, it's part of 1958. In 1958, we are restarting ONU adapter part also and checking the functionality. So I think we can close that 1959 once this is merged.
Okay, sounds good. So for
Yeah.
each container restart, you are having a separate test case, like a scenario to execute.
Yeah, it's single test case only. It will restart each container and it will call that sanity check keyword. It will check all the functionality, DHCP and authentication.
Okay. All right. So I'll wait for the patch, and then we can talk about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Hema. So there are, yeah, and I think we can go with Atran. If anybody from Atran?
Yes, Thorsten here.
Hi, Torsten.
Hi. I was able to finish this test case successfully in the simulated environment today, and now I try to get it into Garrett, but this is currently not working fine, but we are in progress there.
Okay, thanks, Torsten. Yeah, I've seen your email. Probably if you're not able to get through, then we can quickly set up a session again, and then we can help you get through the to get it check in.
But maybe after this call, we will see.
Okay, sure. Should be fine either way.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Anybody else from Atran? Anything from Gerald or Uwe?
Yeah. We are in a state that we have, or we believe to have, a stable version of a virtual test environment. That is why Thorsten was able to proceed the test successfully. But our suggestion is that we would provide our solution, how to create this virtual machine officially into a Git repository from ONF, so everyone can follow this and we can get the same test environment. What's your opinion about that?
Yeah, sounds good. After the call, if you have some time, we can get through the issues that you are facing, or maybe again somewhere in the night we can have another call to set up. We will also send instructions in the email. If you are not able to follow those, then we can set up a session.
Of course. And at the other hand, I started working on the issue, what's the number? 2008.
This one? Okay.
So, yes, so I have to think about the problem a little bit time, how to
Okay.
solve it.
Yes, sure. And I think I need to also talk to David Bainbridge about this. I know that the functionality was not available some time back, but it should be there. But I will just reconfirm on that. If it is,
What's the idea behind this? To start the container in different
order.
ways, or I do not really understand what the meaning is.
Okay, so this one is
Do we need to start Volta first and the other behind that, and then the other way to start Volta somewhere or whatever?
yes. If
You
you
describe two scenarios here. The first one sounds as looks like Volta is started first. In the second scenario, Volta is started seemingly at the end.
yes, exactly. So that is
Why?
the order of the container starts could be manipulated, it seems, and I honestly, even I do not know how to do that, so I can check with David and then copy you on that email so he can help us how to do this scenario. And
Yet it's not required to clarify this in this call.
yeah, right.
But I announced that I have some questions here.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll talk to you on the email then. All right, thank you, Gerald.
No, that's all from my side.
All right, thank you. So let me. Yes, and I am going through the other in progress items. So one is from Zach, and it's been there in progress for a long time. Maybe this might have been already completed.
I have not finished that one, but I intend to get on that. There's a bunch of changes that I'm going to do that are updates to the CI process and the CI systems in Jenkins, and this will be part of that.
Okay,
But it is in progress. I have code that does that. I just haven't managed to get it merged yet.
Okay, thanks, Zach. Hangwei, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
All right, 1961. I suppose we can close this, right?
Oh no, I created the other one to handle the CD, and I already closed. The number maybe will be 2. Sorry, I forgot the number. Okay, I will give you the number later.
There is 2239.
Maybe. Yeah, because this one. Yeah, 2239. Yeah, 2239 is what we did. We created the new Jenkins job. It's periodically to run the Kubernetes test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but then the automation for this is already complete, and it's just that the regular testing.
This one I have not implemented this function because in this function we need to check the rewrite code to make sure the state of rewrite code will be unstable once the LCD crash. Yeah, it's a different scenario. In this scenario, LCD will be crash, not just scale down or scale up.
Oh, okay, I get it. I got confused between both of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. So, have you already started this?
Maybe next week. Yeah. I still have it in front here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks. Wait. Andy might be traveling, so I can check with him later. And I have two items here. This one, this OLT reboot was the scenario I haven't started yet to code, but I'm working on these logging statements for the test teardown, which is almost done, and I should be closing it most probably today, and I can work on OLT reboot scenario. Okay, anything else from the any questions or concerns regarding the stories? All right. Yeah, and another kind request, please keep updating this worksheet right here. So this is like for everyone for tracking purposes, and also fill in the test case IDs once you are done with your test, and also please keep updating the status as well. And there are items that we have already recognized the test purpose as a stabilization, and I was told that there will be a release in December, and we are trying to take up the tests and automate tests as much as possible by end of this December, especially on the items that are marked as stabilization, and then. And then just give in the release, and then have all these test cases integrated in Jenkins, and make sure that the various parts are running these automated test cases. And along with that, we have also the BBSIM platform where Hung is working right now to implement all the test cases that we have created so far, to integrate them onto Jenkins and run them on BBSIM platform as well, like we do for parts. Okay, any questions on this particular sheet? Please also look at your assigned engineer column in this sheet, and then make sure that you have the right task. I know that there was some confusion between one of the stories here, so just please make sure that you have the right tasks here. Any specific questions in regards to this? Okay. Going back to our agenda item. Thanks, Zach, for updating it. Okay, so part status. Zach, can you please update us?
Yeah, sure. So I wrote up some instructions to make a JNLP connection. So this is Java Web Start. It doesn't require a VPN or SSH into the pod. How it works is you run a Java agent on the management node, and it reaches out to the core Jenkins and adds itself as an executor then. So this lets us run jobs on a pod that's behind a firewall or network that doesn't have a VPN connectivity. And while a VPN is more convenient, this lets us sort of bypass the whole VPN setup issue that we've been having with a few of the pods. So I sent some instructions. I copied those here. There's a Google Docs document that goes through that. It goes through the steps to basically install Java, create a user, and then download and configure the JNLP agent. If you want to do that, this was done mainly for Infosys and the AT&T DVL lab. And I sent Omkar and Hema instructions for that. So please look those over. Let us know if we can implement that process. It's pretty simple to do. The instructions are, I tested them on another node, and it takes about, I don't know, 15 minutes to get the user configured and everything set up right. So that exists now as an option for connecting a pod to the core Jenkins.
Okay.
Are there questions about that?
Yeah, just a quick question, Zach. My concern, so how close are we to get the DT pod up and running?
So that's the next issue. So the VPN status, the DT
Mm-hmm.
Berlin pod. So I've been talking to Mike and Bjorn. That has an IPsec VPN set up, and it has one of the 4 tunnels we wanted to have up. So you can go from the core Jenkins to that node, but we to the management node in DT. I haven't added that to Jenkins yet because I was kind of waiting for the VPN to get fully configured. So I've had email back and forth between myself and Mike and Bjorn about that. But the VPN connection is working, just not fully. And so I think I'll talk to them, or we have the time difference is making it somewhat hard to get everything set up quickly. But hopefully that will get fixed in the next day or two, and then I can add that to Jenkins.
Okay.
Also on that spreadsheet, we have all the server nodes, but not the IP addresses of the OLTs and switches and whatnot. So that needs to be resolved as well.
Okay, so
Zach?
Yes.
Zach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I told pretty recently to Mike, and he told me that that also he told me he updated the spreadsheet, and also the IP addresses for the OLTs should be in right now, and he told me that also the ONL is already built and on, but it has to be installed on the OLTs, but it is already laying there. And he told me that from his perspective, the VPN connection is configured in a way that it should be reachable from all subnets you mentioned. So please try again later after the call, and then write an email what's going right now and what's still missing, and then we can take care for that tomorrow.
Okay, that's great, Bjorn. I sent an email just a minute before, or a couple minutes before this meeting, so yeah.
Okay, I didn't saw it.
And I didn't look at the last time I looked at the spreadsheet was last night, so I do see that those have been updated. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so that's further along than I thought it was, which is great. So that's the DT Berlin pod status. For the other 2 pods, the AT&T DVL pod, I've had some email back and forth with Omkar about the GNLP instructions. Omkar, did you have any questions about that configuration?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there have been small progress. We have the second pod in Austin Lab running with the cluster. The pod is ready, but I think the connection through the firewall is still an issue, especially with the holidays. I think the responses are a bit delayed, so we might revisit it in next year. But at the moment, I'm still working with our VPN experts and trying to figure out what's the best way. I'm also looking into the GNLP. If essentially, I'm not the one signing it off, so I will have to take permissions from them, making sure that this would be another avenue we can explore. So I'll talk with them and figure it out.
Okay, thank you, Omkar. I'm assuming we have a spreadsheet that has pod information for that pod. Do we have that, Sujitra?
the AT&T pod?
Yeah.
AT&T pod I haven't seen. I know that we have something for Berlin.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a spreadsheet set up for that, so we can keep track of all the IP addresses and that sort of thing.
Okay. So did you need a different spreadsheet for that? Each.
Yeah. Let's do that separately, and that should be private because it has internal details about the pod. So.
Okay. I can get the template and then forward it to you, and then you can send it across.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
And then the last pod was the Infosys pod that Hema's running. there's some questions about SSH port forwarding. We can do JNLP and SSH are totally separate things. Emma, do you have any comments on the progress there?
Yeah, I just saw your mail. So I thought SSH is required. So we'll try to configure this JNLP and we'll come to you if any issues.
Okay, and do we have a spreadsheet as well for that, Suchitra?
No, we don't have
Okay.
for Infosys. I'll send the template and then you can send it across to AT&T and Infosys.
Okay, that sounds good. Alrighty. Thanks, Omkar, and thanks, Emma.
Okay. Anything else, Zach?
I don't think so. There was a question. Does anyone know of at Infosys know of a Kitaki?
Yeah, Zach. She's working on this local Jenkins.
Okay. What exactly is the plan for that setup? Why are we setting up a local Jenkins there?
Today morning only we have got this JNLP instructions from you, right? So we thought of installing Jenkins locally and test our card executions. So she started working on it. So she's exploring the Jenkins.
Okay. I'm wondering if that's going to be. I'm not sure if that's going to be useful for other people in the community to use, but so let's
Correct.
yeah. Okay.
It's for our local test. We'll work on this JNLP configurations and update you.
Okay, thank you, Emma.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, Zach, on this item?
No, that should be it. Feel free to contact me if for any issues related to Jenkins and VPN and JNLP.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Zach. And the last item on the agenda is about code reviews. I know that Andy is also not here. I wanted to talk about executing our specific system test patches to be run on BBSIM as well. I know right now, any patch set that we are sending to Voltha system test repo, we are just running the sanity test, but the actual test itself is not validated for a specific platform. Only if we are triggering it, let's say we have a new test case, and when we are submitting a patch review for that, we have a way to validate it on a hardware part, but we do not have a validation that would happen on BBSIM. And what happened was the earlier test cases, they are actually failing on BBSIM because of some checks that we missed for those to be run on and executed on BBSIM platform. So this is something we want to discuss. We usually later integrate all these functional tests that we have written on both pods and BBSIM platform as well, that run nightly and execute tests. But sometimes we might catch the issues at a later point of time. So I was just trying to see if there is a way that we can have a check on BBSIM platform as well, right? We have the hardware check, then that would be helpful. So anyone wants to provide any suggestions or inputs on this topic? Okay. I'll bring it up again when Andy is on the call, because Andy takes care of BBSIM platform, and we can take an action accordingly. All right. I don't have any other items. Anyone else wants to bring up anything, discuss before we disconnect the call? Any issues? Okay, looks like no. And just a quick request to everyone. So if there is any showstopper that is not letting you proceed with any of your tests, please do contact us, and we are always ready to help you by setting up a call or with one-on-one session as well, and help you proceed as soon as possible, so we can get as much as of automation as we can by the end of December. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your participation and contributions. We'll talk to you again next week, same time.